Hi everyone, I'm so delighted to see you all here and extend my warm wishes for your great learnings ahead. Today, we will embark on the journey towards our goal of being a front-end developer that we together set it. So, are you ready for it? Let's start. In today's lecture, we will see about HTML. As we all know, in the books, in the traditional books, we have a pages and you have to refer each page individually for any information. If you have to get any information, you have to refer to each page individually. But in a hyperlink document pages, hyperlink means the content of one page is linked to other page in a book. So in that way, these pages are linked nowadays, so it makes our reference easier. We can refer to any page at any point of time. In the markup language and the web, we will be seeing the HTML. HTML is the standard generalized markup language. It is a system or set of markup languages that is being used in 1980s, and in that the elements were tagged. A portion of the page is tagged with another portion on another page. So this type of tagging and organizing of the data was done in a document. So what we see today, HTML and XML and all, these are just an extension or just a development of from HTML. So any markup language that is defined in HTML, we call it an HTML application, like HTML application, XML application. So these are very descriptive. They are not procedural markup. And the documents, they are type concept. In that you can also define your own tags. You can also make your own tags, and they are not, they are, although they are standard, but they are not registered, so you can also customize according to your needs. In the case of HTML, this hypertext markup language HTML that we are going to see in this lecture and thereafter also, it is the latest form that has been derived from the HTML. It is based on HTML and it is easier to learn and support. Nowadays, the text can be marked up with the help of HTML. There are headings, title bars, bullets and all. So you can also position your images, videos, tables with the help of HTML. The HTML basically is doing the display aspect of the page. How the page is to be displayed to the user, that is done by HTML. And the XML, extensible markup language, it is actually the data tracking capability. It is showing the content of the data. It is not much concerned about the display, how the data is to be displayed. Rather, it is focusing on the content, what content is to be displayed. That is a part of XML. Likewise, you can see here, XML was designed to describe the data. The data is described and it is basically focusing on the content of the data, what data is present in that document. So that data, its content is described with the help of XML. And in HTML, the display, how the data is to be displayed to the user. It is basically on looks, on appearance, that we are using HTML. Hypertext markup language is a language for specifying the content of the web pages. So various web pages, they are hypertext, they are interlinked, and that can also contain various multimedia, not only text, that can have images, videos. So from one page to another page you can easily jump in, you can refer, so it makes our life easier. Suppose you are reading something on one page and you want to jump to other page, you want to refer to some other information on some other page, so you can easily do it just by clicking on that link. So markup is just augmenting the capabilities of the text with the help of tags, and it identifies, the tags identifies its structure and the content type. So HTML is the current technology, it is an evolving standard. So how it evolved across the history, we will see HTML1. It was very basic and there was very limited integration of the multimedia, that is images and videos. There were very limitations and it was very basic. It was by Berners-Lee in 1989. Then the next version came up, HTML 2.0, and it was with IETF. IETF stand for Internet Engineering Task Force. In 1994, it gives and it tried to standardize these features. IETF is the agency that works on standardizing the protocols of TCP and IP. So IP and TCP protocols are standardized by IETF. Thereon, when we moved forward, HTML 3.2 came into light, and in the W3C consortium, World Wide Web consortium in 1996, and it attempted to into a single standard. It tried to standardize the HTML, but it did not address the newer technologies like Java or streaming video. So streaming video feature was not available at that time, and the current thereafter 1997 HTML 4.0, it attempts to map out the future direction for HTML, not just react to vendors. So thereon improvement came up and now we are using HTML 5.0. So in hyperlink structure, the various pages, various contents, they are linked. So the linking can be the linear structure. In linear structure, a part of the document is linked to another part, like header is linked to header and header and header. Footer is linked to footer. The bottom of the page is linked to the bottom of the page. It is a linear structure of hyperlinking. In the hierarchical structure, any portion of the document can be linked to other in a tree-like structure. This is a tree-like structure. You can see there is a top level, mid level and bottom level. So this type of interlinking of documents, interlinking of information is hyperlink structure. Programming in HTML. So how we are doing the programming in HTML, how we are making our HTML web pages, that a basic structure of a web page is defined by it. A basic layout, the content of the web page, what you are displaying to the user in the browser, that is by means of a language that is HTML. So whatever you see in a browser, whenever you open your browser, by browser I mean Firefox, Chrome or Safari, whatever you are displaying in the web browser, it is by means of these HTML components, that is tags and elements. HTML text formatting is there, HTML links, frames, tables, lists, forms, images or background. We will see one by one in the next videos about it in detail. But for now, you can just remember that these are the various components of HTML that we have to master in. Now there is the advanced features, HTML layout, fonts, styles, head, meta, URL, scripts, web server. So these are the advanced features that came up to light after this HTML 4.0 or 5.0. So these came up into light. HTML tags and elements. So these are tags. You can see there is an angle bracket, opening angle bracket, HTML and closing angle bracket. Body H1 to S6, H1, H2, S3, H4, H5, S6. So these are according to the various font sizes. H1 being the largest, gigantic size, and S6 is the smallest size of heading. P means paragraph. When you are going to write a paragraph in HTML, you will be defining with the P tag. BR stand for break. Whenever you want to break a line, you will be using break. HR and exclamatory so on. So these are various tags that we would be seeing. So programming, how we can do the programming in HTML. So for programming in HTML, we need two HTML tools. The first one being our text editor, normal text editor, that may be your Notepad or Notepad++ or any text editor. So in that you have to write the code, you have to program in HTML. you write all syntax, and thereafter the other tool that is being used is the browser, Firefox, Chrome, or anything that is capable of displaying that HTML page. So that we will see in the practical. So this is the thing that I wanted to tell you all. So in this you can see, after making an editor, text file editor, we have to save it with the extension HTML. So if suppose you are making a file index, so the format of the file must be index.html. So if you will save it like that, so the browser will interpret it and display to the user. So I don't have that notepad, but initially I would recommend you go with the notepad or any text editor, so that your comprehension and your practice, it becomes more exhaustive, more accurate. Otherwise, if you will see the advanced editors like VS Code, Visual Studio Code, it would be easier for you, but your practice would not be of that level because it auto completes many of the tags. So for practice, initially I would recommend you go with the notepad. So in it would be easier for you to understand, to make a habit of how the tags are used. So this is a simple file that I would be showing you here. You can just open a text editor or notepad on your window, and there you write this document type HTML. This is the opening tag, and HTML. HTML is a meta element. It is just everything that you are writing in the web page. It is being enclosed in the HTML tag. This is the HTML opening tag, and the other one is HTML closing tag. You can see this is a closing tag. The tag is closed always with a angular bracket and forward slash followed by the element name and closing angular bracket. So this is the root of an HTML document. Everything you would be writing inside, whatever you write, it will browse to display to user. So here is the of HTML code you can see in HTML. So this has not the meta of that HTML element. In that you would see various things like title, name. Whenever you will be linking any file, you would be using this head. Thereon, in the head title are writing that of the page. Whatever you are seeing on the tab, so like this, when you are opening a browser, you would see over there. So it is HTML page and opening a tag. Whatever we are going to display to the user on the web browser, on the page, that is coming on the body. Like here using h1 first closing h1 tag. So every more tags, maximum tags, they are tag and closing tag. Like paragraph, this is one paragraph using p tag. Therein an bracket p closing angular bracket paragraph opening angular bracket slash and after closing angular bracket. So this is going to be the basic syntax of an HTML document. Now this file, note, you have to save it HTML dot. Always save it as HTML file dot HTML. So when you save it, it would look something like hello.html. So when hello.html will open on the web page, it would be like this. That we have written in the bar, it will be shown at the top of the tab. Title bar displayed here in the browser, and this is our first heading. My first paragraph. This is the first written, and h1 we have written would be shown. See the fonts how there is. My first heading is h1 tag. Whatever we written h1 tag, it will be displayed. That is the p tag, paragraph tag, paragraph. To see the fonts in h1, the font will be gigantic. So this is a normal HTML file that I shown you. In the further lectures, would be knowing more about other HTML tags, and we will be getting deeper into HTML. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. Till then, bye bye. Take care. Bye.